So next up, we have Yo Nakagawa, who is Executive Director at Monex Group and Managing Director at Monex Ventures. Mr. Nakagawa?
Sure. Do I share my screen, or are you going to manage the screen?
Please share your screen with us. Thank you.
Okay, sure. Hold on. Okay, good afternoon. So I am Yo Nakagawa from Monex Group, which is which is an online brokerage company listed in Tokyo Stock Exchange. So I would briefly like to introduce ourselves, our group, and our investment activities, and in particular our FinTech investments. So our company was founded back in 1999. So amongst the three keynote speakers, we're the youngest. I think back in 1999, online brokerage was probably before the word FinTech was invented. We were probably a FinTech company. So I think we can call ourselves FinTech 0.1. The group itself is a holding company that comprises of very diverse businesses, both geographically as well as from a financial asset point of view. We have operations in Japan, the US, Hong Kong, and Australia, which all are online brokerage businesses and other businesses. And the business portfolio consists of stock brokerage, asset management, VC, and a crypto business both in Japan and in the US. For our group, we have been engaged in investment activities for as long as the company has been existing. And this was way before there were words like corporate venture capital. And we have been both, and investment was not only for pure investment, but also for acquisition, as well as strategic investments. The investments today we conduct out of Monex Group, which is the ultimate holding company. We also do investments out of our US's holding company, TradeStation Group. We have in Japan a VC called Monex Ventures, and we have an asset management company called Monex Asset Management. I'll just briefly explain what these companies do in terms of investments. So the first two companies, Monex Group and TradeStation Groups, we do investments primarily for strategic reasons, investments as well as R&D. So we would invest with the target of hopefully having a strategic relationship, business relationship with the companies that we've invested in. Obviously, it's easier said than done, but nevertheless, we try to leverage our license situations both in Japan and the US to help accelerate any business partnership that we could achieve with the startups that we invest in. Obviously, this is primarily in the online brokerages business, payments, and as well as the crypto business. We have a VC called Monex Ventures. It's a relatively small fund, and we invest primarily in very early stage startups. We just launched the fund last year, and fortunately or unfortunately, we have more or less deployed our capital, so we're in the process of raising fund number 2 within the next 3 to 4 months. Monex Asset Management is a asset management company that invests in listed ETFs. So we also launch mutual funds for retail investors. So this is probably not a relevant investment vehicle for today's purpose. We have invested, in terms of the FinTech investments that we've done in the past, we've invested in a pretty broad range of sectors. Obviously insurance, we started with insurance, PFM, crypto, wealth management, neobanks, brokerage, P2P lending, payments, mortgage, primary markets, FinTech, VCs, etc. I mean, you name it, we've pretty much covered most of it. There may have been certain sectors that we shied away, but I think we pretty much covered most of the FinTech sectors over the past, I would say almost 15 years, 17 years that we've been investing in. From a geographic point of view, we've invested in Japan, US, Australia, Israel, and Singapore. Now, the founders of these companies are much more different, obviously. We have Canadians, we have Indians, we have Koreans. The nationality is one thing, and the headquarter is another. But we have a fairly wide range of portfolios, countries representing our portfolios. So within the overseas investments, just to give you an example of the FinTech companies that we've invested recently, would be from the US, and some are kind of like multi-jurisdiction. But Alpaca DB, it's a online brokerage company, or an API brokerage company. I think the equivalent in the US would be Apex, or maybe, just, to be a little bit more bolder in terms of, or ambitious in terms of comparison, Interactive Brokers would probably be, would be a comparison. We also invested in a payments company that allows payments from pretty much anything, whether it's loyalty points, cryptos, bank accounts, whatever, you name it, they have it. It's a company called Apto Payments. They're based in San Francisco. ErisX, it is a crypto exchange based in Chicago. This is, it's one of the, I think people who have been following the crypto market over the last 2 years or 3 years, the center of gravity of crypto markets have shifted towards the west coast, east coast of the US from the west coast. And this was one of our first investments in the crypto space in the US. We've also invested in a company called Harvest Wealth Management Technology. It's a company in San Francisco. It provides a banking solution, a wealth management banking solution. And the last company, CVCs, this is also a crypto company. This is also based in Chicago. As I mentioned earlier, it seems that our investment in crypto space is much more on the East Coast, including Chicago, more than the West Coast these days. In Singapore, we have invested in a company called Terraform Labs, which does stable tokens. The founders are serial entrepreneurs out of Korea. Israel, and this is also, they're half based in the US. We've invested in a wallet technology company, or a crypto wallet company called Curve. And finally, from Australia, we've invested in Neobank, that's called Doe, which recently listed on the ASX, the Australian exchange. So that is a very brief explanation of who we are, what we do in investments, and who we've invested in the past. We do both just pure investments. We also do strategic investments. We're very open to all sorts of investments, no matter where the company is. We would like to, what we bring to the table, it is not much the money, but I think it's the network of licenses that we have globally that could be very useful for startups to leverage if they team up with us. Thank you very much. That's it for me.